Alrighty, hi. So another thing that we need to talk about is a bit of revision on reverse percentages. Now, I only want this to go for one half of the double this morning, and then we'll spend the second half of the double looking at inequalities, because I think these are two kind of small-ish topics that we can fit in. Okay, now we use reverse percentages as a way of working backwards on a percentage problem to find the original amount. So your clue for when you do a reverse percentages question, and this is the hardest thing, is working out when you have to do when your question is a reverse percentages problem, is your indication for that should be talking about the original amount. Okay, so it should in the question be asking you to find the original price or the original cost or the original amount or something like that. Okay, now when we're doing reverse percentages, a little bit of critical knowledge that we have to be able to do first is with reverse percentages, we're always talking about whether we've got an increase or a decrease in a certain amount. So say, for example, we were increasing something by 15%, okay, we would have our original amount, and to increase something by 15%, we multiply it by 1.15, and that gives us our new amount. I'm just going to use a different color for the decrease. So for a decrease, if we're decreasing something also by 15%, we've got our original. Now to decrease, remember, to decrease something by 15%, you're taking 15% off 100%. So your total that you have, your original, you've got 100% of that thing. To decrease something by 15%, you're multiplying it by 100 minus 15 as a percentage. So in this case, you'd be multiplying it by 0.85, because 100 minus 15 is 85. So you're left with, if you've taken off 15%, you're left with 85% of your original amount. Okay, and that's equal to your new amount if it was decreasing. Now, the other way you could do it is you could times the original by 15%, and then you could take your original and you could minus off that decrease, and that would give you the same as the new amount here. So both of these should give you the same quantity. Okay, and now I'm just going to do a quick percentage increase and decrease example just so you can see this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take £250 and we're going to increase this by 30%. And we're going to decrease it by 30%. And I'm going to show you the fact that this is going to be the same for that. So if we're increasing by 30%, we take our £250, we times that by 1.3, because that's our 130%. We've got 100% of the original, and then we're adding on another 30%. And so that gives us 250 times by 1.3. Okay, and you get 325. Okay, 325. Now, to decrease by 30%, again, we can do this in two ways. Okay, the first way is we can take 250 and we can times by, now, if we're decreasing by 30%, we're left with 70% of our total amount, so we can times by 0.7. And that gives us 175. Okay, pounds. Or we can do it the other way. We can times 250 by 0.3, take our 30% of our 250. Okay, that gives us 75 pounds. Okay, and then our total is 250 minus 75. Okay, now 250 minus 50 is 200, minus 25 is 175. So that's 175 as well, and we can see that they are the same. All right, everyone happy with that? Good, excellent. I have no idea whether you're agreeing with me or not, but I hope you are. Alrighty, let's move on. So if we now go down, we're going to now work on reverse percentages, okay? So that was just percentage increase and percentage decrease. Now, reverse percentage is a little bit different because in this case, we're going from our, say we look at the increase one, we're going from that 325. We know that we're increasing it by 30%, but we're wanting to find what on earth did we start off with. Okay, and this is a little bit of, it's just really a little bit of simple algebra. Okay, so our first example is a shop offers 30%, 30% again, I should have done something different before, 30% off everything in a sale. The sale price of a designer pair of shoes is £84. So we know that this shop, they have taken 30% off, and that final price is £84. We want to calculate the cost of the shoes before the sale. So the first thing I'm going to write here, we know we have a discount, okay, or a percentage decrease of 30%. Okay, which means that we're looking at 70% of the original price. Right, so now what I'm doing is I'm going to say let X equal original price. So I know that X times by 0.7, my percentage for 70, okay, so 70% of my original price was equal to the amount that's being sold for, which is £84. And from then I'm going to divide by 0.7, just a bit of algebra, cancel that out, and I'm left with 84 divided by 0.7, okay, which is 120. So I know that my original price was £120 altogether. Okay, perfect. Lovely. If you wanted to do it the other way, where you were taking the percentage off and then you were subtracting that, you could also do it in that way, but it does end up being a little bit more complicated. I think it's easier when you're doing a reverse percentage, to do multiplying by 0.7 rather than multiplying by 0.3 and subtracting. But I will show you how to do it, so just give me a second. Okay, so I've just written this other method on the side here, and again, I don't love it in terms of working on a reverse percentage. So you remember that if we're working out the other way, we take the original price and then we subtract the original price times by the discount, and we know that equals to the discounted price. So in this case, if my original price is X, and my original price times by 0.3 is 0.3x, which equals to 84. So 1x minus 0.3x, that's equal to 0.7x. And then I'm just dividing by, sorry guys, I'm just dividing by 0.7 again, and I still end up at 120, okay? So that does work, but it's a bit more tricky and fiddly, and you can see you can really do this in 2 steps, so I don't know why you'd want to do it any other way. Alrighty, last problem. So after a 4% wage rise, Bill earned £1,248 every month. So he's got an increase. So he's got a 4% increase, okay, in his wage. So that's multiplying by 1.04, okay, 104%. So after he's had that wage increase, he earns £1,248 every month. So I'm going to let his original wage equals to X. Okay, so X times by 1.04, 4%, increase by 4%, equals to 1248. So therefore, now we're going to divide that by 1.04. Again, cancel out that on the other side, multiplying on this side, dividing on this side, and we end up with 1248 divided by 1.04 equals 1,200. Okay, so that 4% added on that $48 onto his wage that he wasn't getting before. All right, hope this helped. Again, a couple of questions for you to do. Please do make sure it doesn't take too long, because I would like you to have a go at inequalities as well this morning. Alrighty, hope you're having a great time. See you later.